I hereby open this meeting of the Tyngsborough Conservation Commission under the State Wetland Protection Act, Mass General Law, C-131, S-40, in accordance with the Town of Tyngsborough Wetland Protection Bylaws on this day of April 14, 2026. First item on the agenda, 137 Pawtucket Boulevard, map 27 and 28, parcel 57-0, and 113-0, DEP number 3091028. Mark from an applicant for notice of intent and minor stormwater management permit to raise the existing structure and build a new single-family dwelling with associated grading and utilities within the 100-foot buffer zone to bank, bordering land subject to flooding, or the 100-year floodplain. Land under water bodies and waterways in the 200 riverfront area of Merrimack River, continued from February 24th, 2026. Did I get a motion to continue this? Oh.
Well, I'm going to just give you some context before we ask for a continuance. We're going to be in front of the planning board on May 21st.
Yep.
For our special permit to build in a floodplain. And depending upon, how the peer review goes in that process, it's going to affect our existing filing here. So we don't want to cause duplicative work for the commission, so we're going to get through that first. I had already gone through zoning board of appeals and got all the approvals in the past for this. This project, I think you all probably know where it is. This is the old dilapidated house across from Stonehenge Inn on the river. Mark Famanian has purchased it. He's going to tend to occupy it as a primary residence. And it's a good project, but it's, it's got some developmental challenges, because of where it's, because of the site developable envelope and its proximity to the river. So we had some project delays. We have finally got everything in for the special permit for the planning board. I have it in my office, filing fee checks being dropped off tomorrow. I spoke to Pam today. I'll have it filed this week, and we'll be in front of them on May 21st. So what I'm thinking is maybe, I don't know what the meeting schedule is in June. If there's a second meeting in June, that might be the more appropriate one. June 23rd. Wait, hold on, let's not pick that one. Let's, what's the first meeting in July?
July 14th.
Let's go with July 14th.
I just have one comment. If I could get the applicant to come in, if we could get the applicant to give us notification a week or two ahead of time, because this project's been going on so long, and we don't get the notification till the last minute. And I've spent so many hours reviewing this project in the past, getting ready for them to come in, and then they don't come in.
Understood.
And I just don't do it any longer because it's, even when I saw it on the agenda tonight, I was like, they're going to ask for a continuance. So it'd be so much more helpful to go back and have some time to really fully review this project before the applicant comes in.
Yeah, I don't expect us to be requesting any further continuances at this point. I think you'll be solicited comment from the planning board submission, which is forthcoming, so you're going to see those materials come in. And I know we have an initial peer review letter from your peer reviewer from the original filing, so we'll certainly, respond to that well in advance. So with the meeting in mid-July, I'm expecting we'll have worked through all of the peer review with the planning board level. We'll have a vote, and we'll be able to give you ample time to review the materials before that meeting.
Yeah, that's nice to hear, because I have comments on it too, but
Yes,
we
I'm
just
sure, yeah.
haven't seen anybody in so long that.
I'm not trying to intentionally hold you in suspense.
I know, I'm not implying that. I just want to be able to be prepared and to provide you guys, the applicant, my questions prior to them showing up. So just so much more efficient that way.
Our wetlands consultant is here in the room right now, Maureen Harold, who is involved in the project, so she's hearing your comments as well. So I'm sure Maureen's back there shaking her head, indicating that she'll make good on that on that request. So I appreciate the continuance to July 14th.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to continue this hearing to July 14th.
Aye.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, 2 Dunstable Road, culvert, map 15, parcel 31 and 100, DEP number 3091041. Tyngsborough applicant for notice of intent for proposed replacement of a degraded culvert that conveys Bridge Meadow Brook under Dunstable Road, continued for March 24th, 2026.
So DEP did not issue any further comments regarding the revised materials submitted by Ty and Bond. So like you guys said at the last meeting, if there were no more comments, if you guys have no more comments, then I feel that you guys could motion in order condition. And Maria's here tonight if you guys do have any final comments.
I have no comments on it.
I just want to comment that there are a number of particular waivers that they're asking for, and also this is a limited project, so they're asking for relief from certain portions of the Wetlands Protection Act. Emily's been kind enough to lay those out for us, so we can handle that now.
So do I get a motion to close the public part of the hearing?
Mr. Chairman, I can make a motion to close the public part of the hearing.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right, so we get a motion to waive the following requirements from the Wetland Protection Act. See it, MR 10.00 and 10.54A, 544A and 5, 10.55 and D, 10.8, 5 and D, and 10.85 and G.
So again, these are requirements from the Wetlands Protection Act that they're asking for relief from because this is a limited project. They did present this to us previously, so I'll make the motion as put forth by the chairman.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. Do I get a motion to waive the following regulations from the Tyngsborough Wetland Protection Bylaw? Section 5.4.2, Section 5.5.2.2, Section 5.5.2.3, and Section 5.5.2.4.
So again, these are waivers from our bylaw. Most of them are setbacks and stuff that just cannot be maintained for a crossing like this. So I'll make a motion to waive the regulations from the Tyngsborough Wetlands Protection Bylaw as noted by the chairman.
And second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. So the next motion on this project is to issue a standard order of conditions for Dunstable Road Culvert over Bridge Meadow Brook, DEP number 3091041 per plan dated March 2026 with the following conditions. I might as well read them out. So the approved contractor must prepare and provide a continuous plan, including a response to significant wet weather events prior to the commencement of work. A copy of this plan must be submitted to the Conservation Director. The approved contractor must submit project-specific construction sequences prior to the commencement of work to the Conservation Director. Restoration protected wetland resource areas must be monitored for a minimum of 2 growing seasons from the completion of the proposed work to ensure site stabilization and establishment of native vegetation cover. Reports must be submitted to the Conservation Director. Any invasive species management removal from the site must use best management practices deemed appropriate by a professional wetland scientist.
Second.
Well, one of you's got to say the motion.
I
You
make
can say motion as read.
Motion as read.
Do I have a
Second, second on
You
that.
don't have to read it again.
I'm not reading it again.
No,
All in
there's a
favor?
second on that.
All in
Aye.
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 Opposed? None. Next item on the agenda, 116 Kendall Road, map 13, parcel 3-0. DEP number 3091043, Glen Cole, applicant for a notice of intent and major stormwater management permit to cross portions of BVW in order to construct an entrance driveway to access the property, continued for March 24th, 2026. Can I have a motion to continue this?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like a motion to continue this hearing until April 28th.
The second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Continued. Next item on the agenda. 25 Ingalls Road, map 9, parcel 15-2, portion of 16-0, DEP number 309-1039. The Conservation Commission will constitute a 9-member commission for the purpose of reopening a duly noticed hearing regarding Cadell construction. Applicant for notice of intent and major stormwater management permit for the proposed development of 16.49 acres parcels for 7-lot open space residential subdivision to be known as Otis Woods. Advertised in the Lowell Sun, April 7, 2026. The commission reminds the applicant that we have voted to reconstitute a new commission on March 24, 2026, and this hearing will be renoticed in the Lowell Sun newspaper. All abutters must have been re-notified.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to waive the reading of the legal ads on the abutter list.
The second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
Okay, they're here, so.
So,
Good evening.
we're here for procedural reasons. We wanted to open up the public hearing, constitute the new membership. We'd also like the board to make a motion to bring forward into evidence all of the prior filings and testimony of the prior hearings that would now be officially deemed incorporated into this administrative record. At that point, we'd request the board to continue this to the 28th because we are still working behind the scenes with the peer reviewers to resolve the remaining comments. We do expect to have supplemental filings for you next week, and then we'll pick up where we left off on the 28th.
Okay. Do we have to make a motion?
So, yeah, make the motion.
Make the motion.
Can I make the motion?
To do
You
what?
can make a motion.
Okay.
Continue it.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to incorporate all of the previous meeting evidence and materials into the newly constituted 9-member commission.
The second on that.
All in favor?
To April 28th.
Well,
Do we
that's
want
a
to?
separate-
Not yet.
Not yet?
This is just for the information
Okay.
that we already previously
You
gave.
still have to actually open the public portion of
Yes.
the hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like a motion to open up the public portion of the hearing.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Do we want people to make
You can
comments?
ask if there's any.
Anybody in the audience have any comments or responses? If so, state your name and address. Yes, yes, okay. All right, so can I get a motion to continue the hearing till April 28th, 2026?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to continue this hearing until April 28th.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you,
We'll try to get you the supplemental material as soon as we can.
thank you.
Next item on the agenda, 475, 501 Land off Dunstable Road, map 14, parcel 21-0, 22-0, 23-0, 25-0, 26-0, 26A-0, no DEP number, Charles George applicant for
Right.
abbreviated notice of resource area delineation to affirm the extent of jurisdictional wetland resource areas and associated buffer zones advertised in the Lowell Sun, April 7th, 2026. I need a motion to waive the reading of the legal ad and the above list, please.
Oh, I see, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like a motion to waive the reading of the legal ads and the abutter list.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you.
Okay.
Floor is yours.
Okay. Could you guys bring up the plan that I had sent to you earlier, Emily?
Sure.
For the record, my name is Caitlin White. I'm a wetland scientist from Hancock Associates. As you said, I'm here on behalf of, it's the Charles George Trust, who is the applicant.
There you go.
Thank you. And so, it's several parcels off Dunstable Road, as listed. It's bound by Dunstable Road to the west, Route 3 to the east. There is a solar field to the north, and then residential to the south. Currently, 475 is developed with a single-family home as well as 2 outbuildings.
Oh, okay.
But a majority of the sites are forested. The delineation was performed on November 14th and 15th of 2025. If I can just go through the wetlands. I'll probably start with A, if possible, which I think is sheet 4. It is sheet 3, sorry about that. Okay, so wetland A is a freshwater emergent wetland right next to Route 3. We flagged it with wetland flags A100 to A120. Within this wetland complex is the USGS perennial stream, Bridge Meadow Brook. Due to extremely inundated conditions, we were not able to field delineate mean annual high water associated with the brook, so we grabbed it from several different online mapping sources, and we have that map there in blue. The wetland itself is, I tried to highlight it so it would be clear. In green is the wetland A line, and then all of the other ones are buffer zones that I'll talk about later. In like a light pink color, you have the FEMA floodplain. This is the only area on site where there is mapped floodplain. Next, if we can go to wetland B, which I think was page 4. Yes, yeah. So wetland B is another freshwater forested shrub wetland. It was flagged with flags B100 to B138. It's along the eastern border of the sites. Within this one, there are 2 mapped potential vernal pools, which we have identified approximate locations based on Mass Mapper. This wetland is hydrologically connected to wetland C, which is the next one I'll discuss, which is right there. It's adjacent to Dunstable Road. With this one, it was kind of a funky one. It had an intermittent stream as well as a depressed area, so I flagged it with 3 different series. The first series was C100 to 119. On the other side of that is C200 to C212, and then the ponded area was flagged with C300 to 311. The next wetland I'd like to discuss is D, which is an isolated vegetated wetland. I think it's on the second. There it is. Okay, so wetland C was a completely enclosed, isolated wetland feature. I didn't find any hydrologic connection to any of the other wetlands on site. That was flagged with D100 to D134. It was completely dominated with highbush blueberry and winterberry. This is another mapped potential vernal pool. Next would be wetland E, which is in the northwest corner near the solar field. Yep. So that was flagged with E100 to E124. Again, it's another mapped potential vernal pool. Wetland F is adjacent to wetland E, and that was flagged with F100 to F120. And that had hydrologic connection across the road to the larger wetland complex off Dunstable Road. Wetland G is a small isolated feature right off Dunstable Road. I think that one is on page 3. It's a tiny one, but it was flagged with flags G100, not that one. There's a little peek of it. There you go. So G100 to G104 is downslope of Dunstable Road. It had hydrologic indicators and a dominance of hydrophytic vegetation, so we flagged it. Each of the wetlands, as you can see on the plan, we have your 30-foot no disturb, your 50-foot no build, 100-foot buffer zone. With the brook, we have the 100-foot inner riparian zone as well as a 200-foot riverfront area, just to show you how they project and what's protected. With this scope of work, we did not do any vernal pool investigations, but we did indicate which ones were potential vernal pool, and we will keep that in mind in the future during development design. I think that kind of sums everything up. I included data sheets for you guys to review for each of the wetlands. And I can answer any questions that you have, but otherwise, thank you for your time. I know it's a lot, sorry.
So when was this looked at?
I'm sorry?
When did you go out to do all this?
November 14th and 15th.
All right. So, the vernal pools, are you guys gonna go out there now? I mean, they're almost done.
I would have to ask the applicant to see if it's something they would like us to do. I think it would be beneficial.
Yeah,
we agree.
but you're already down on the, you're on the downslope right now. They're almost all
We'd
done.
have to get out there soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something I would like I mean, you're going through the process of delineating everything else, I think that's something that we'd like to see on the plan. I guess we can regroup, because if it's not ideal conditions, since we're near the end of vernal pool season, maybe it's something the commission can condition so you guys can do the work next spring. That's up to you guys.
I can bring that up.
You're proposing now to just go out and have a peek at them, see where they're at, and see which ones may be of concern and would require, more of a formal.
Yeah, so everyone that you guys flagged as potential, I would like to see if you guys could collect any data, if it is a certifiable vernal pool. And then, that's why I was saying, like, if they can't collect a ton of data now, it's something that you guys could condition that they could do next spring.
Because it depends on what's in there for egg masses right now, that your wood frogs and that stuff are done.
No, I fully understand,
so-
and that's what
Yep.
most of my questions are on the vernal pools. Just a quick comment on that in particular is that in the discussion, you talk about 4 potential vernal pools, yet on the maps, there's 5.
Which one did we miss?
I don't know.
So there's the 2 within
Yeah.
B, there's D and E.
It's like there.
I double checked the mapping earlier today.
I just went through and counted again to make
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
Unless one of these is showing up on 2 maps.
Some of them are, if you're referencing our plans, so there is some overlap.
Yeah.
So there should be 2 within B, there is D, and then E.
Plan somewhere which wetland these are.
You have to go off the flag
1, 2,
numbers.
3, 4, 5.
It was in the narrative as well.
Yeah.
Are you telling this is
Yeah, the vernal pool on sheet 2 is also reflected on the next sheet 3, I guess.
That's fine if there's an overlap there, but
Yeah, there is overlap on the
Okay.
plans, so that might be, it's a little confusing looking at them separately.
I guess my other comment for the commission is that usually when we see ANRADs come in, they are just really defining specifically the wetland delineation. Here we see on here all the buffer zones, taking into consideration also the 200-foot riverfront, the 100-foot riparian zone, borderland is subject to flooding, so there is a FEMA floodplain line on there, so these are all things that we're kind of approving to move forward. There's nothing wrong with it, and, you know, most of it's pretty straightforward, especially on the buffer zones and stuff like that. But it's a little bit different than other ANRADs that we've approved.
I'm sorry, is this the first time that the applicant's been in front of the board for this matter?
Correct.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of the process. Why are they interested in affirming these? Do we, I mean, you're not, I know you're not the applicant, you're a wetland scientist. Is there anyone here? Does the applicant have any representation here?
No, just her, just her.
Okay.
No. So, you know, with that in mind, we don't know exactly what the land
Yeah,
is being proposed for use,
Sure.
but it's one of the things, you know, I would, you know, like to continue the hearing to go out and walk the property and get a better feeling for, in particular, for how, what kind of development might be going in there and how that might potentially impact these potential vernal pools. You know, I think that's you know, fair consideration about how we move forward with the project. How stormwater management may impact vernal pools, things like that. So we want to try and get ahead of ourselves a little bit and make sure we're reviewing it appropriately.
Right now is the perfect time. It was logged last year.
Right.
But before everything starts growing, you'll be able to see everything without much obstruction. So if we want to plan a site visit, we
It's all
can do
marked and,
it, like within the next week or two. You know, before it all starts budding and everything.
right? So what do you want to do? You want to do a walkthrough?
We can do a walkthrough. I know the property is. It's right across from the management area. I know the
Right.
property very
Okay.
well.
But Jeff's gonna be traveling for a couple weeks.
Right, but I'll do that before I go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to coordinate a time
Yes.
offline and then reach out to you guys all, and then majority can come?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, no? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the
So I
days
will
are
be in
longer
contact
now,
with
so we
you.
can-
Yeah.
I'm shooting to next week, so like ASAP.
When it's
Okay.
light later,
Yeah.
that's much
Yes,
better.
it is lighter later, so yes.
Yep.
We can work around everybody's work schedules, yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
So I'll shoot you an email tomorrow.
Thank you.
The other comment I wanted to bring up, due to the intense, I don't want to say intense, the large property, I wanted to leave it up to the commission if you guys did want to send this out for peer review or not.
I
Your
think-
decision.
I think it should, just because of all the resource areas on it.
Yes, are you guys all in agreement?
Yeah, there's,
What are we having reviewed?
The delineation
The
lines,
delineation and
That's fine.
yep.
there's,
Okay, so then I will get that rolling too. So we'll be sending out for peer review. Um,
Who do you guys usually use?
Horsley Witten, they're pretty good, quick turnaround, so.
Perfect.
But yeah, I can coordinate with you offline about that as well.
Anybody have any more comments? Yeah, well, I'm
I
gonna
wish I knew
open
what
up
they
the
wanted
public.
to do.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to open up the public part of this hearing?
Wish I knew
Mr.
what they
Chairman, I
wanted
come
to
up
do.
motion to open up the public part of the hearing.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Anybody in the public have any comments or questions? Come up, state your name at
Never
the
seen
podium,
that.
please. An address.
Good evening, thank you. My name is Richard Magri. I live at 18 Canongate Road, Unit 52. I've only lived in this town for a little bit less than 5 years, but my wife, who has lived here for almost 50 years, is well aware of the prior issues that happened when Charles George was running what they were doing many moons ago, and I was involved also in Superfund site claims when I worked in the insurance business. So my concern here is just that I know that there was a group from Hancock Associates out here earlier today that were doing the sight lines or resurveying. Are you aware of them? They were out on Dunstable Road this morning around 10 o'clock.
Were they at Canongate or were they at this?
No, they were right on Dunstable Road, right at the subject properties that are part of this review.
I wasn't aware of it.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you that. Also because I had received a certified letter from Hancock Associates advising us of the meeting this evening. So I just wanted to make sure that I understand what the purpose of the sight lines were, or what the surveying was in reference to, and also what the downstream impact would be for somebody like us who live less than a mile away from where this impact zone was 40 years ago.
I mean, you can speak to if you don't know why they were out serving today. I mean, I wasn't notified either, so I have no idea.
Yeah,
why
there were
they
two
were out.
survey teams, one on the east side of of Dunstable Road, one on the opposite side, but they were basically perched they were about 200 yards apart. And I pulled my car up and just asked them, what they were doing, because I just said, what did it have to do with reference to this letter or the meeting this evening? So I was going to try and get some general knowledge.
What was their answer when you?
They just said, no, they're just doing a survey, and that all they're trying to do is just check the delineation lines and make sure things are proper. Or that-
Interesting. I was not aware of that. I don't know why they were on site, but I can definitely get an answer.
Okay.
For you.
Well, you can answer the commission, I guess, so let them know what the deal is.
I will say, I drove down the road today. It looked like they were just more doing like actual like boundary marking surveying, not necessarily wetland surveying, more like property line surveying.
Okay.
So we are contracted with Canongate as well because there was a septic issue.
Oh.
Yes.
They could have been on site in the general area for that. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But-
no, we've had a lot of issues with our septic system at Canongate, trust me. That had nothing to do with your company per se, but I'm just saying, I know the history of what happened there and what my wife told me about in terms of the, the problems they had with their water supplies and things they had many years ago because of the contamination that had occurred.
Yeah,
that
and
ran off.
I guess to answer your second question is that the commission can't really determine what the downstream impacts would be just because we don't know what is proposed. Really, all in front of us right now is just the delineations of all the wetland resource areas.
Okay, that's fine.
That would be a question that we could be revisited further down if they do
Yeah.
decide to do anything with the property.
Right.
But as of right now, there's no future
Yeah,
plans.
right. The letter said, in effect, there's no proposed work at this
Exactly.
time, but that doesn't make me feel very comfortable because I don't know what they might have in mind for those property or that part of those parcels.
Yeah.
But
if-
you're,
Oops.
Oh,
I was going to say, but you are correct in that, something is going to happen there. But we're here, for this hearing is basically to talk about how the delineation of the wetlands. This is what this hearing is all about.
Okay, great.
As the project moves forward, certainly you'll get another notification in the mail that they're coming before us again, proposing another project or whatever they have in mind for
Okay.
it. But at this time, this isn't anything that we're reviewing.
but it will definitely be something the commission will take into consideration if there is future development, what the downstream impacts would be.
All right, well, thank you for your time, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll
Thank you.
follow up with the planning board too.
So before we continue, can
Is
you,
anybody else in the public?
anybody else in the public have any more comments or questions?
Okay.
Um,
What were you gonna say?
Can Hancock find out if I can walk the property, if I want by myself beforehand?
Yeah, I can ask.
Yeah, and I'd
And
like to do it also.
let Emily know.
So yeah, if you wanted to shoot me an email, and then I can let the commission know.
Perfect. Yeah.
I know the area pretty well over there, so.
But we'll still plan a site visit.
Right, I'll still go to the site visit.
Perfect.
Prior to us, it's gonna be in front
That
of
just gives me a
planning
little
board.
more time to look it up, check it out.
It's a big site, so I understand.
Yeah,
Emily, prior to us, after all this delineation is straightened out, it's gonna go in front of the planning board before it comes back to us, correct?
Well, it all depends on what they plan on doing. We
Yeah.
can't
But,
speculate anything
no,
right
I'm
now.
just saying, if they plan on doing something, it'll end up at the planning board.
Not necessarily. We don't know
No?
what the project is. It might be an as-of-right project. We don't know. We can't answer that question yet until we know what they're planning on doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what they're planning on doing?
I have a vague idea, but I can't speak to that. I think.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it seems the public wants to know.
Yeah, well, it's
And I think that's where this is
but
going.
we can't do it on speculation.
Right,
so-
no, I know,
Yeah. But yeah, so depending on what they're proposing, it depends if it goes before planning board or
Yeah.
not.
yeah.
You guys
So
have any?
you would hear something from the planning board.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
If they plan on doing something,
It could be by right.
It could not, it might not be in their jurisdiction. We don't know yet. Can't make that determination yet until we know what the project is.
Do you guys have any more questions?
any more questions? Can we get a motion to continue it to
Just do
August?
it 2 weeks
I
out,
mean,
or
April
we need more
28th.
time than that?
Well,
Well, do we want to just do 2 weeks and then we can kind of regroup?
Okay.
Yep.
Just normal schedule?
Yep.
Right. Mr. Chairman, I can motion to continue this hearing until April 28th.
second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, 142 Middlesex Road, map 21, parcel 22-0, DEP number 3091044. Trico Properties LLC applicant for notice of intent and major stormwater management permit for the redevelopment of an existing lot by raising existing structures and constructing a new commercial building with associated tree removal, grading, and utilities advertised in the Lowell Sun, April 7th, 2026.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I can motion to waive the reading of the legal ads and the butter list.
Second on that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Maureen Harold, Norris Environmental Services. With me tonight is Rich Campbell and attorney. So we have filed a notice of intent with the commission to raise an existing single-family dwelling, deck and driveway, to construct a building trade shop, cut and clear trees, parking, retaining walls, fence, drainage, landscaping, grading, associated utilities within the 100-foot buffer zone of the BBW. This lot is on the corner of Middlesex Road and Old Ting Road. This is the site where that little red house burnt down, about 2011, give or take. The project meets the required setbacks of the 30-foot no disturb and 50-foot no structure. We did receive a DEP file number, no comments at this point in time. I know the commission sent the stormwater out to peer review. We did receive some minor comments, nothing mind-blowing, something we certainly can address before the next meeting and provide the additional information. And I can open it up to the commission with any questions or concerns.
Yep. You can go ahead if you want.
Oh. Just a
Thanks,
really
Pat.
quick question, in particular, for the recharging systems, is one of those gathering the roof runoff?
Yes, so I can,
And I was working from a smaller map, so it was really hard to pick that out.
yeah, Pam, let's see, could you go to plan sheet? Number 4, please. So, pond number 2, which is, I guess would be east of the proposed dwelling near Middlesex Road. That is collecting the rooftop infiltration.
I'll get there.
I have a large sheet if you want to take a look at that.
Yep, no, I see it.
Okay. And then the pond that's proposed beneath the driveway, that's more for the drainage for the parking area as well as the driveway.
Yeah, that's what I suspected. Just a comment is that I really like your landscaping plan.
Isn't it dynamite? Mr. Campbell hired a landscape
It's
architect.
terrific. It works in nicely with the grading. It was easy to follow, exactly what you guys have in mind. It looks great.
Thank you.
I saw that there was a comment regarding the flare out for, I guess, subsurface system number 2, saying that it's approximately 35 feet from the edge of the BBW. Is there any way that you could get the flare out closer to the actual system so it's not, it would, if it were to fail, that it has a little bit more of a runoff before it hits that 30-foot buffer?
I can ask the engineer. I'm happy to do that. It's all gonna depend on the slope, to
Yep.
make sure the slope works and the water works and the pipe length, but I'll ask them.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Do we have any idea how close I guess the north corner of the building is to the 50-foot no structure line?
So we're kissing the 50-foot no structure line. Pam, if you could zoom in.
Okay, that's the red, yeah.
Thank you. So we're at 50 feet. So obviously, we're not going to encroach within the 50-foot, so what we can do is have the building corners staked to be sure that that doesn't encroach within the 50-foot prior to, pouring the footings and the foundation walls so that we know.
So is a footing included in the?
No, so, because the footing's underground.
Correct.
So it's not, so it would be the foundation wall.
Is that what we consider no building? Does a subterranean footing, is that part of the building?
Good question.
Yeah.
I mean, like Maureen said, we could have them stake it out and then that they know where the 50-foot line is.
Yeah, but the footing's wider than the.
Yeah,
foundation.
the
Yeah,
footing's 2
but-
feet by 2 feet.
Yeah, the footing's gonna stick out maybe 10 inches from the exterior surface of the wall.
It's up to you guys, your decision.
Well,
on
it's
that
on the
one.
ground, it's not like you see it. That's the bigger issue.
No, but something to keep in mind from now on, too.
I know,
Right, I would propose, given how small it is,
Yeah.
in particular, it'll be underground, what we could consider is just a waiver for the 50-foot for that small portion of it, and we can move it,
Yeah.
propose it, doing it that way. I don't see how this has an impact on the intent of having the 50-foot no build, or the intent of protecting the wetlands, so I think it's
Okay.
a reasonable approach.
Anybody else have any more comments or questions on it?
no, if you look at this map, it shows it,
Yeah,
and it's not on
No.
the foundation,
no,
so,
no.
thanks, Jeff, because I'm not gonna make an issue on this when it's on the ground. That's ridiculous.
So can we get if we have no more comments, can we get a motion to open up the public part of the hearing?
Mr. Chairman, I can motion to open up the public part of the hearing.
Second that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Anybody in the public have any comments or questions?
Okay, well, if you guys have no more comments, I assume you'll reply back, or the engineer will reply back to Horsley and Witten. I quickly looked through it, seems pretty straightforward, very minor. And we would like to see that waiver request for the 50-foot structure. No build, sorry, 50-foot no build.
Just a written, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, it even can be included, yeah, I guess you can include it into the response letter for Horsley and Witten. Just
Okay.
either at the top or at the back of the page, we can, that's fine.
Okay.
So can we have a motion to continue it to the April 28th?
Mr. Chairman, I can motion to continue this hearing until April 28th.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next item on the agenda, 135 Coburn Road, map 31, parcel 42A-0, town of Tyngsborough. Applicant requests determination of applicability for the proposed repair to an existing catch basin and portions of an associated culvert pipe advertised in Willow Sun, April 7th, 2026.
You good?
Yep. Good night. I get a motion to waive the reading of the legal ad in the budget, please?
Mr. Chairman, I can make a motion to waive the reading of the legal ad and about a list.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. Good evening, Jake.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Jacob Zwicker, DPW Superintendent. I'm here presenting an RDA for exemption for a notice of intent filing under section 10.02 2B 2P of the Wetland Protection Act. Basically, we're in the process of performing preservation treatments along a series of roads. One of those roads in particular is Coben Road. Over the wintertime, we did have a sinkhole at a catch basin, then also a partial culvert collapse within Coben Road. It was also identified when we did culvert inventory inspections a couple weeks ago. So prior to performing the final overlay across Coben Road, we wanted to perform the minor maintenance to the drainage structure as well as the collapsed portion of the culvert. We're looking to do that work next week since the schools will be closed for the week, so it would be an ideal time since we're right next to the, I think it's the Valley Collaborative School, right on Coben Road. All the work is proposed primarily within the roadway. There'll be some work within the shoulder, but we're gonna be in between the head wall, so there's no work being done within the wetland area. It is probably an intermittent stream that collects all the runoff from Chard Road and up in the Makos neighborhood. It's gonna be fairly minor.
Does that intermittent stream go underneath the road, or is it?
Yeah, it goes underneath, and then I believe it goes back into a closed system all the way through until probably Lakeview Ave. It might go
It
back.
pops back up at
Does it-
Lakeview Ave.
And then it goes back through another closed system
Yeah.
beneath Muskopic, and then I think then it dumps right into the Muskopic
Yeah.
Lake.
So you're familiar with it.
Yeah. I don't really have any questions on it, concerns. I already know where it is, you know, and it needs repair.
Clearly by the photos.
Yeah, we had one that we got last week. Half the culvert is collapsed in with
Yeah.
road material, so.
Mr. Chairman, I can motion to open up the public part of the hearing.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody in the public have any questions? Do you have any comments or questions, Shep?
No,
Do you guys have anything?
Mr. Chairman, I can make a motion to close the public portion of the hearing.
Second that, too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to issue a negative determination for 135 Coben Road.
Chairman, I can motion to issue a negative determination for 135 Colburn Road.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Aye.
You too. Next item on the agenda, commission determination. 79 Sequoia Drive, map 26, parcel 141-0, AR 26-1, removal of one tree within the 100-foot buffer zone to nearby wetlands.
Resident, is having some trees removed in the front of the yard, but when the arborists came out, they were looking at the pine trees. So this same, property had a couple of pine trees removed a handful of years ago through the commission determination. The arborists deemed that this one was starting to split. As you can see, it has 2 leaders and that notch is starting to split, so.
Okay.
He recommended to the homeowner to remove it, so she's asking for permission to remove that one tree. She's also removing a couple other trees, but they're up by Sequoia Drive that are just sugar maple, crabapple type of trees, so this is the only one in the buffer zone.
Tree, a tall tree.
I don't have any issues.
No.
I think I looked at the other ones before.
Probably, it wasn't too long ago.
So to get a motion to
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for an approval for a commission determination for 76 Sequoia Drive for the
79?
removal of one tree.
79.
79.
79.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Next item, 385 Dunstable Road, map 22, parcel 2-0, AR 26-2. Installation of 3 temporary monitoring points to analyze soil and groundwater within the 100-foot buffer zone to the nearby swamp.
So if you guys remember, the engineering firm came before us, so this is Republic Services, just to get everybody familiar. That they were doing groundwater testing and everything, so they are coming back to see if they can hand dig a couple other test holes to kind of grab some more data. The wetland scientist said everything will be done by hand, very minor disturbance, but they need the extra monitoring sites to collect data. And they're labeled on the plan.
I don't have any issues with this
No,
either,
no.
you know, so. Get a motion? If anybody's got no comments on it?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of a commission determination for 385 Dunstable Road for the installation of 3 temporary monitoring points to analyze soil and groundwater within the 100-foot buffer zone.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Next item on the agenda, 53 Mescupic Trail, map 32B, parcel 58-0, AR 26-3, removal of 1 tree and trimming of a few trees along the property line within the 100-foot buffer zone to Lake Mescupic. State your name.
Will Demars, 53 Mascupper Trail.
You want to just kind of explain what you plan on doing?
Yep, I got an old tree there I actually had one come down a couple years ago that I had to come and get permission to remove that actually fell into the lake. This tree hasn't gotten any better, so looking to remove it before it falls down or causes any issues to myself or the neighbors. You can see while I have the tree service company, it's obviously a little harder to see now in the off-season, but those trees are really kind of overtaking some of my power lines and stuff like that. And just while I have them out there, I figured trim it up before I have any issues with that or near my gas tanks for my generator or anything like that.
What could go wrong?
That used to be the Dr. Seuss tree.
The one that fell.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Where all the eagles landed every single day.
Yeah.
You sit on the dock and watch them every day. It looked like the Dr. Seuss, the tree was bent like this, it was so
It
awesome.
like looped at the top. It was really
Yep.
cool. Fortunately, we still got the eagles and hawks.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
plenty of trees for them, so we still see them all.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, I don't mind. I see that property every day. Anybody, can we get a motion for this?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to issue a negative determination.
No, just commission
Just,
determination.
to issue a approval of a commission determination for 53 Muscuppa Trail, map 32B, parcel 58-0, AR-26-3, for the removal of 1 tree and trimming of other trees along the property line within the 100-foot buffer zone to Lake Muscuppa.
Second on that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Next item on the agenda, 119 Mascupic Trail, map 31A, parcel 31-0. Repair of a corner of existing retaining wall within the 100-foot buffer zone to the Lake Mascupic.
Okay, if I could approach.
Yep.
Yeah, sure,
I made him a packet. There's 2 and 3 can
sure. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, I know the area, so here's the pictures of the wall.
Well, do you want to pass one of the packets this way?
Yep. This, so he's got, there's two of each, so that one.
Okay, can you please describe what you are proposing to do?
Okay. If I could lay the groundwork, there was a tree there, a big pine tree that I came up, I think a couple of years ago, before the commission, and we got it approved, and because of age, it needed to be taken down. It was. But unfortunately, being so close to the waterfront, I think the roots kind of pushed out some of the dirt and some of the stones. And after looking at the wall this spring, and I grew up on the lake, and I'm very cognizant of the board and how important it is. I was on the board, the commission for a little while, and I was vice president of the Lake Association. So I wanted to make sure that there was no more damage happening, and some of these stones that you can see on the near shot are being pushed out. Now, what I was hoping to do, I contacted a New Era and talked to Derek. I looked up his company and got a lot of good reviews. He came up, his contract is there. I put a deposit on it because I was hoping to get this thing going as soon as we could, because my fear is if we have a wet spring and it saturates that earth, I don't want to see any of those stones or dirt end up in the lake. So I was hoping to be able to get it approved now. He told me that if we get it approved tonight, that within a week or two, he could start to do the work on that. Also, we spent a little bit of extra money in the contract because I wanted to check if there's any other spots on the wall, because that wall is my age, it's 77 years old, and I know what age can do to you. So I want to make sure if there's any other spots in that wall that he feels should be taken care of. We spent a few extra dollars, and I said, look, do whatever you have to do, and if there's anything beyond that, let us know, and we'll add to that. So I want this thing done right.
And he proposes to just use all the existing material there? He's not gonna pour new footing or anything?
What he's going to do is whatever granite blocks are there, they withstood 77 years so far, use them. He might have to supplement some of it. The cement cap, there's a cap that goes all the way along, that fractured. He wants to take and get rid of that, and he's gonna remove any materials that have to be taken off the property. He's going to take, when he restructures that granite wall, and pour a new cap tying into the old one all the way up to the lot line, the fence, the property lot.
They have to remove it, it's already dropped,
Right, well,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know, so
yeah.
to fix the wall. They
And it's
remove
fine,
the
it's-
fence and the cap.
Yeah.
He has no choice, but it has to be done.
No, the pine tree, we went and looked at it, it was this big.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. We did the site visit on it.
Those, holy mackerel, you're talking a 200-year-old tree.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
huge.
Wow.
But it was rotted in the middle.
Yeah,
It's kind of neat, the problem, to count the rings, it's like the big thing.
I grew up in
For me,
Tyngsborough, if I
it
could take just a few seconds, when the population was about 3,000.
yeah.
And back in those days, a lot of people did a lot of things that I looked at as a kid and said, that isn't right. So I realize the importance of this board now, and I want to totally comply with whatever the ruling is, and I'm hoping that it will be positive, because like I say, I don't want anything of that wall going into the lake, the dirt, or anything. There's a little bit of a shelf at the bottom. If in the construction of it, a little bit of it ends at the bottom, it will not go in the lake. He's going to put the proper fencing and retainer and so forth, and do the job properly.
It's a little further back than it looks from the shore, too.
It is, okay.
You know, it looks like it's right on the shore, but it's back a few feet.
It's just falling,
It's just falling apart.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's just repairing it.
right.
Yeah.
I have no concerns.
I don't have any concerns on it.
You have to bring any heavy equipment in to move some of those stones, look pretty big.
No, he said no heavy equipment.
No, he's not. The only thing he might bring is a small cement mixer, not the big one, the small one, to, a small hand one, to reconstruct that. It's about 6 foot, that retainer wall that cracked off and is going down.
Yep, I don't have any problems. If anybody got any more questions on anything? We get a motion to approve it?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to issue an approval for commission determination for 119 Muscuppick Trail for the repair of the existing retaining wall within a 100-foot buffer zone to Lake Muscuppick.
Second on that.
All
Do
in
we want to
favor?
add like?
Aye. Opposed?
I think we'll be okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I can proceed from here and tell him to get started on it?
Yep.
Correct.
Is there any other paperwork or fees that I have to pay or anything else to make sure everything's done right?
Nope, I will send Ed a hard copy of it and he can deliver it.
Okay,
And that's it.
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman and
you.
Commissioner members, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wow, made our day.
They should all be so nice.
Next item on the agenda, 2 Nottingham Road, map 27, parcel 68H. Here, Tracy, can you keep a set of pictures for on file?
Oh,
Nottingham.
do we want to keep a set of photos for?
On file?
Do you have more
Bill,
than
can we
set
keep
of
one
the
set of photos so we have it for on file?
You can keep it all, I have extras at home.
Okay,
Yeah? I'm sorry? Did you want to keep the contract back?
We don't need it.
No,
we just want,
I mean, it spells out everything that he's gonna do, so.
we just need the pictures more, just.
just do the pictures in the first page of the contract, because that's the only part it describes the work.
I'm having a little bit of problem tonight. I have a sinus infection, so my hearing is not up to peak.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Good luck.
All right, next commissioner termination, 2 Nottingham Road, map 27, parcel 16H-0, removal of 2 trees that are currently falling within the 100-foot buffer zone to a nearby stream.
So I wasn't able to upload photos of this because the gentleman didn't send it to me, but basically, there's a stream that goes, it's light stream that runs from Nottingham under the road towards Sherburne Ave. Both the trees fell on top of each other over the winter, so he just wanted to have our permission to remove them. The tree guy asked that he didn't want to do any work before the commission gave approval, so one tree is on top of the other, so he's gonna remove the first one that's in the notch, and then remove the other, and understands that no equipment will be in the stream area.
All right, get a motion to, anybody, any questions on it?
No. Straightforward.
We get a motion for approval?
Mr. Chairman,
You do that so well.
I'd like to make a motion to issue an approval for a commission determination for Nottingham Road, the removal of 2 trees that are currently fallen within the 100-foot buffer zone to a nearby stream.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Next item on the agenda, enforcement order, 15 Alden Street, map 30, parcel 62-0, lift the enforcement order for snow disposal within the 100-foot buffer zone. I get a motion to lift the enforcement?
Are there any details? It was just,
He pushed it all.
He
into
pushed
the-
it all
the snow
back,
melted?
and
Yeah.
then 2 weeks later, the snow melted.
He did
The
move
evidence is
some-
gone.
Yeah, what snow?
He did move some back.
I
before
did
it
go
melted.
out and look, I forgot to upload photos.
I did look, yeah.
He moved it back, and then in a week and a half, everything
The
was
thing
melted.
melted.
Gotcha.
And now he knows better not to do it, maybe next year.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to lift the enforcement order on 15 Alden Street.
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
I think his wife made him move it.
Approval of minutes, March 24th, 2026.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve March 24th, 2026 minutes.
All in favor? Aye. No correspondence, new business, topics the chairman did not reasonably anticipate would be discussed. Fee schedule revision?
So in your packets, we are going through me and Pam are going through the fee schedule. So this is fees associated with our bylaw. They have nothing to do with associated fees for this for the Wetlands Protection Act. So we were going through it, and we wanted to incorporate 2 new changes. First one being that originally we used to have just work on single-family lot we never really followed up with work on single-family lot, because applicants were always back and forth, like, oh, does it have to be vacant? Does it have to have a house on it? So we kind of never were collecting the $200. So I revised it that it's any work on a residential lot between R1 and R3. So it's all the residential lots in Tyngsborough. So moving forward, we would like to collect the $200 for work on a residential lot. And then the other one is the request for, yeah, thank you. The RDA application fee. So originally it was $50. We were gonna bump it up to $75. Other than that, everything else is staying the same. I did double check with Jake if the stormwater portion of our fee schedule needed to be upped or anything, and he said that it's still appropriate to, the way it's calculated is still appropriate, that we don't have to change any of the calculations, so I wanted to run it by you guys. Assume, do they have to make a motion if they approve this, and then we'll have to post it for
30 days.
30 days?
I don't have a problem, it simplifies it.
Yeah, well, because so originally when you look at the fee schedule, it used to just be, especially for the work on a single-family lot, it used to just be work on single-family lot, and then it was changed to vacant and single-family lot. So we've just been going back and forth, and over the years, we just haven't been collecting the $200. Since there's not many vacant single-family lots left, I figured that we'd just do any work on a residential lot, and start enforcing the $200 fee. And then the RDA is just,
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the fee schedule revisions, specifically work on residential R1 through R3 lots to $200, and requests for determination of applicability to $75.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Next item, Cardinal Lane, map 20, parcel 125, dumpster relocation inquiry.
yeah, so of course, I forgot to put it up again. So Cardinal Lane, so this is the Benchmark condos off Sherburne Ave. They recently reached out to me because the DEP for wastewater and wells reached out to them that they wanted them to move the dumpster because where the dumpster is located currently, it's within 2 wellheads. And the condo association has been pushing back for years because when you drive up there, it's behind 2 sets of the garages, all paved. It's been there for years. So they were pushing back on DEP, like, do we really need to move it? So now DEP's up in arms that they need to move it out of the wellhead zone areas. The only place that they can move it is a little bit further down on the main drag, and it's about 110 feet from the wetland. I wanted to bring this to you guys to determine what you guys think the most appropriate action would be. Yeah, so it's kind of, so right where it says, so if you look where it says 405 Cardinal Lane,
Yeah.
that's roughly where they're gonna put the dumpster, but it's gonna be on the side where the wetland is. Reason I'm bringing it to you guys, because when you look at the topography, it's pretty good mound, and then it slopes down, but they'll have to clean the mound out, put a concrete slab, put a fence around it. So it will teeter the line of work in the buffer zone, probably 5-10 feet into the buffer zone, of the 100-foot buffer zone. I didn't know if you guys wanted to have them just do a commission determination or have them file a full-on RDA. That's why I wanted to bring it up for discussion tonight.
Do we specify, I mean, I don't know if it's a stretch, but could you consider that, I mean, would that be more like landscaping than construction? They're putting in a fence, they're putting in a concrete slab. How does that?
I really don't have a problem, because as long as they're putting the fence around it to keep the trash out of the wetlands.
The soil that they're disturbing is right off the edge of the road,
Yeah.
so it's just, over the years, I think that mound has been created just
From all the
because of the
sand.
plow, the sand and everything. So it's not like it's super native soil.
Yeah.
It's just they know that they're gonna have to bring in either a mini or smaller excavator just because you can't pull that all out by hand.
Sure. It would be,
But they're gonna be working within the roadway.
Yeah, Yeah, it's gonna be like right off that roadway.
And to add on what Ed said, my main concern is that they have a fence around it with
Yeah,
best
keep
made
it- yeah,
practices and.
Yep. Yeah, so there, you have to, that's why they wanted to bring it to us, because they know they have to add, it's not just gonna be the platform from the dumpsters. It's gonna be a little extra space
Yeah,
around the dumpster.
yeah.
So I don't know if you guys wanna have them do a commission determination or an RDA. It's up to you guys.
I'm fine with a commission determination as long as we put it like, order of conditions that the fence has to be maintained no matter what, like if you got the guy coming in to get the dumpster comes in a little too fast and pushes it in the fence and bends it or whatever, you only have so many days to maintain it, like 60 days, or 30 days, something, just so it doesn't come down into that whole wet area.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys can also ask too to have the contractor just put up silt fence in the area too.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Because it is a pretty steep slope. I mean, it goes down pretty steep, but like where they're proposing is relatively flat. So I'm also thinking too is that they're probably gonna have to put some type of small retaining wall too on the back side of the,
Yeah.
because where it is, it's the topography, you're going like this and they want it level. So there's
Yeah.
gonna have to be fill brought in or something in some wall of some sort is gonna have to go in the back of it to sustain all that fill brought in or re-leveled.
And if they do the wall, see if they do it natural boulders instead of a block wall, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's a lot to ask of a community.
I know.
Do we want to have any restrictions on what's dumped there?
You can't, it's.
No?
I will say the dumpster is a normal sized dumpster. It's not 2, it's 3. It's one normal sized dumpster.
Is this, did you say this was for a condominium?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's people's trash?
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes. There's really, most dumpsters, there's no limit on what you
It's
can
not like a
put in there.
commercial site, gotcha.
If you get a construction dumper, it's just for construction, but,
It's people's kitchen trash.
yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want somebody throwing,
Motor oil?
yeah, or,
Yeah.
gasoline or
Yeah.
something, rather than there, just to get rid of it.
No, it's up to you guys. I don't have it, either way. I figure commission determinations should be enough, but,
Yeah, I think that's fine, but I'd like to see the
So-
plan document.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, no, I told the woman that's in charge of like the properties that there would be some substantial site plan
Yeah.
details that would have to go along with it.
Especially on how high the back wall is going to be. You said they're digging into the earth.
Yeah, I
Anything
mean,
over 4 feet, there has to be a fence on it.
yeah.
So,
I mean, I assume, when I looked at it, I
4 feet,
assumed,
I'm on an RDA.
okay.
I don't think it's gonna
But
be
we don't
4
know.
feet,
But we don't know.
No, if it is, then you would need an RDA,
Okay.
but.
Well, you
Well,
never know.
I
And then
mean-
how many trees are they gonna take down?
there's
to
no
put
trees
that-
in the area.
None?
I mean, that's why we have a commission determination. You guys have the opportunity after reviewing it, you can recommend that an RDA has to be filed. So there is that alternative as well.
We could consider requesting that they use a new dumpster, one that's not rusting and leaking.
Yeah, good idea.
My thing that I see a lot of is on my road with all the condominiums across the street. People come out of their unit and they put the bag on their roof.
Yeah.
And they never make it to the dumpster. It ends up on Middlesex Road. And I'm out there collecting it. Because, it's a mess.
Well, that's gonna be the hard part.
And
with
that's
this.
one of the things I hate.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be the problem with this now.
Right?
I mean,
They're
I
gonna
will
come out.
say that when I looked at the dumpster where it is currently, it was very, very clean around the
Was?
area. So I have high hopes that it's probably gonna stay the same cleanliness as it is currently. So,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are all owned, they're condos.
Yeah.
yeah.
But where I am,
Yeah.
their containers are almost at the road.
Right.
So everybody's driving out of their unit. It's me or Ryan's, Donnie's out there, we're picking up stuff. You
Okay,
get a little
I
mad
will-
about that.
I will let them know commission determination.
Okay. Next item, Form Escupper Trail, map 26A, parcel A-0, request for commission determination.
So this one's under new business because it was sent in last minute, but I figured that we could add it to our agenda. So these homeowners, Kim, do you mind pull up the photos? So these homeowners recently bought the house about a month ago, finally closed on it. We're going in to do some yard work, and had a tree company come in, and the tree company was like, oh, you guys are near wetlands, don't do any more work. So there's a couple things going on. So the property was very, very overgrown, lots of bittersweet, lots of invasive. So those are the piles you see. So they have kind of started to clean it up. But there are 3 trees they want to remove. The edge of the property or the lawn is pretty much the delineation line for the wetland. This is a very old parcel, so now they're asking permission to remove this tree, which is in between the neighbor's house. Want to go back. They want to continue to clean up some of the yard work, so over here, there's a lot of still overgrown brush, so they want to go in and clean that out as well. That's just more of the yard work. So yeah, you can see they kind of already started it and then stopped because they got yelled at. So there is a birch tree right there. They're gonna have that removed. It's also all covered in bittersweet, so they're also asking the tree company to remove the bittersweet as well. As you can see, it's pretty gnarly. And then they're gonna remove these 2 evergreen trees. They're right on top of the deck, and their home insurance is pretty much forcing them to remove it just because of the overgrowth. And then there's one more large tree. Yep, so this tree, a large oak or maple, it's been there a while, but it's starting to die. The little nook in between, the arborist was saying that it's starting to get a little rotted in the middle, and he was saying that if you guys were gonna have some, that you don't necessarily need to take it down now, but if you're having somebody to come and take it out, I would probably just take it out. And then the other thing she wanted to add to, which I wasn't able to get photos of, so I did go out today, so I've seen the property, is that she just wants to add that if and down the line, when they go to repave the driveway, if they have permission as well. The driveway, it's basically just gonna get ripped up and repaved in the same square footage footprint. So she also added that to the RDA. I mean, not the RDA, the commission determination. So just basic upkeep. They wanna make the lawn a lawn again, clean it up.
This house right beside the beach?
Right beside the beach, yep. So not like, it's.
With the fence?
Not with the fence, it's behind that house. So you have to so when you're going down Maplewood, you have to kind of bear off to the right, and it's
Yeah.
like the first house right there.
Okay.
So they recently bought it. She's from Nebraska.
The
She
one
had no
the
idea
one
what
that's
was
up on the
going
hill
on.
then,
No,
no.
it's on the right-hand side.
before Michelitis's,
Sure.
the big blue house.
It's not blue, it's a split
No,
level.
but
Yes, it's basically it's right across from the
Yeah.
town beach. It just set back further, so all
Oh,
their
yeah,
property
yeah,
is
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
bottom.
yeah, so, yes.
Yeah.
It's almost up against
All
Roy Ave.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yeah, I forget, yeah, it's right there.
yeah, but they halted all work because the arborist was like, oh my God, you guys are near wetlands, don't do any more work. So she wanted to file
Yeah.
to make sure that they can continue to do the yard work before they move in.
Yep, I know right where it is. Yeah, I don't have a problem, I mean, if the driveway, if anybody has any concern for that road and afterwards, just put a stone border, gravel border around it or something, But,
There it is, up on the screen.
Oh, yeah, so here it is. Yeah, so you can see,
yeah,
the house is back
Yeah.
there and yeah, so the edge of the grass is basically the delineation line. And I showed her, because the skunk cabbage is coming up, I showed her, I said, this is your wetland. She's like, okay, so she now knows. But, I mean, the yard was just super overgrown. I don't blame them for wanting to clean it up.
no, and, get rid of bittersweet and everything.
Yeah.
I hate seeing it. It's just, because I
would hate
know
this property
personally, I
then.
go and look across the street from me.
I can't stand
I'm
it.
asking the people to cut the bittersweet. You're gonna lose all the nice trees.
Yeah,
I know, that's what I told her too. I said, if you have to pay a little
Sad.
bit extra, I would have the tree company, do a good deep clean of the other healthy trees, so you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about it.
Yep.
Because it's just, you're gonna have to do this in another 5 years.
I have to do it every 2 years.
Yeah.
Yep,
Every two?
yep. It grows that fast, it's brutal. So can we get an approval? We all set?
Yeah, I'm all set with it.
I'll take a shot at it. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for a approval of a commission determination for 4 Muscuppick Road for the removal of 3 trees, clearing of brush, and the replacement of the driveway.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Next item on the agenda is Trail Day, May 2nd. Bell Property will be there doing trimming and cleaning and replacing some walkway. It started at 8. 8 to 12, so if anybody wants to volunteer or show up, we will be there. Next item on the agenda, we're still in a drought status, level 1. People don't really realize that. We thought we had a lot of snow. That was enough, but if you go, I've been watching it, but if you go scrape your soil right now, it's all dry on the top, couple inches. So we're still in a drought.
It's amazing, because you
But
see the river.
I know, but we had a drought all winter too, even. They even were declaring the drought during the winter,
Oh,
so. Any old business? Nope. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.